The Star Wars saga is an ongoing tale of merchandise. Not only did it alter the way licensing deals are made, but Star Wars toys changed the popular format of action figures and kickstarted a collecting craze that continues today. Join us as we take a look at how the biggest moments in Star Wars toy and collectible history altered the galaxy. Twentieth Century Fox assumed it had a stinker on its hands with George Lucas's space opera. As such, the studio had little interest in maintaining merchandising rights. Lucas had confidence in his movie, and in a move that seemed reckless at the time, he ceded $500,000 of his directorial paycheck in order to keep merchandising rights. George Lucas, he's currently worth $6.4 billion, according to Forbes. Originally, George Lucas did not have any takers to make Star Wars toys. That changed when the Cincinnati-based company Kenner Products signed on as a manufacturer of toys in the form of 3 3/4-inch action figures, which soon became the industry standard. Kenner first had to sell mail-away early bird packages for figures of Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and R2-D2. This was necessary because they only closed the deal about a month before Star Wars hit theaters, and they had no product. Consumers who purchased the toys during the 1977 holiday season received a display stand and a Star Wars fan club card with the figures mailed in spring 1978. But when they did hit, they hit big. Kenner's sales during 1978 and 1979 hit $100 million, and these small, affordable toys, vehicles, and playsets were so successful that it allowed Lucas to finance The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. As detailed in the Netflix series The Toys That Made Us, Kenner snagged rights to the toys indefinitely and intergalactically, with Fox and Lucas splitting but a nickel for every dollar sold on the Kenner line. That deal was renegotiated 2 years in so that Kenner had to produce enough merch every year to pay Lucasfilm $10,000 in royalties, which is mere credits considering the sheer volume of product Kenner was moving. However, after Return of the Jedi, vintage Star Wars figures came to an end in 1985. Things quieted down for the brand, and Hasbro bought Kenner in 1991. And forgot to pay the $10,000 fee to Lucas. With that contract voided, Lucas, coincidentally, announced in June 1994 he was returning to Star Wars to film the prequels. Hasbro negotiated a new deal with a much more profitable 18% base royalty rate for Lucas and began work on the Power of the Force 2 action figure line. These toys were carded with the classic Kenner logo and featured buffed up versions of characters while reusing many of the same vehicle molds from the earlier Kenner line. The Power of the Force 2 line reinvigorated the Star Wars toy market and even spawned collectibles, such as the Weequay Skiff-Guard freeze-frame figure, though the items were less rare than their 1980s siblings. LEGO entered the galaxy far, far away in 1999, in advance of The Phantom Menace, with mini-figure sets. This was the first intellectual property licensed by LEGO, and it was a hit. The company has made toys for every subsequent Star Wars property, as well as their own LEGO Star Wars video games, and even a television series. The marriage of Star Wars and LEGO, in addition to contributing $1.83 billion for 2018 profits, have led to some hot collectibles, such as the Ultimate Collector Millennium Falcon set, which has sold at auction for more than $5,000. The prequels yielded many opportunities to expand the toy lines, but none of them reached the same collector value as the original trilogy. Despite the dark years of 1986 to 1995, when no new movies or toys were released, Star Wars had been rebuilding its presence throughout with the film's re-release, novels, and of course, merchandise. But with the arrival of the prequels, and later the Clone Wars TV series at the turn of the 21st century, the franchise had some fresh coaxium in the tank. Skip ahead to 2012, and a deal that had been in the works for a while solidified. Disney purchased Star Wars and its lucrative merchandising rights from Lucas for $4 billion in cash and stock. That acquisition yielded returns in kind for the Disney empire. They picked up an estimated $5 billion in the year following the 2015 release of The Force Awakens. While Star Wars consumer products went beyond toys long before Disney's purchase, the Magic Kingdom has created an expanding universe of items that can be acquired, which includes an entire Star Wars land at 2 theme parks. In addition to the Black Series of collectible 6-inch toys, the Star Wars collectible market has gone on to include cookware, replicas, highly detailed sculpts, sneakers, timepieces, and more. But a long time ago, about 42 years ago in fact, the merch saga of Star Wars was largely defined by the tiny 3 3/4 inch toys.